every day is scheduled, 15 countries in 20 days, that kind of thing. It's supposed to be this really wonderful, it's a very generous gift. She's supposed to be having the trip of a lifetime. She has not been having a very good time. She's there with her best friend, who's been her best friend since she was about 6, and their friendship is starting to come unfrayed. And partly because her friend Melanie really wants to reinvent herself now that they're not in high school and heading off to college, and also just, they're both changing. So they're in the line, and they're supposed to see Hamlet. And while they're waiting, this sort of group of very kind of cool, funky-looking people come up and down the line with flyers, and they're doing this sort of underground production of Twelfth Night. And they say, come see us instead. So Allison makes an uncharacteristic move, lies, pretends that she's sick, and they go and see Twelfth Night. And then she has a moment with one of the actors there, playing Sebastian. But then nothing happens, the night ends. The next day, she and her friend Melanie are due to be going back to London. They're going to spend 2 days there before they fly home. And on the train to London, she bumps into the guy, the Sebastian guy, and it turns out he's a Dutch guy named Willem. And for the two of them, for about 45 minutes on the train down, they just start talking and they start flirting. And Willem thinks that she looks like the 20s actress Louise Brooks, so he calls her Lulu. And there's something about that, this name, this new identity, and it's very liberating for Allison. She really likes this Lulu side of her, and so she becomes bolder thinking of herself as Lulu. She feels like she can talk to him the way that she has it. All too soon, they get to London. He's supposed to go off to Amsterdam. She's meant to stay there. And then he says, you know what? She starts complaining about how she didn't get to go to Paris because the air traffic controllers were on strike and all flights got canceled. So he says, why do you go to Paris for one day? You can take the train. I'll go with you. We'll go to Paris for a day. And she's kind of shocked. Like, why would this guy do this? And even more shocked, why would I do this? She winds up saying yes, which is, again, something very uncharacteristic for her, but she decides to try something new. And it all seems like it's going well until this scene. And she is on the train, the Eurostar, which goes from London to Paris. And Willem has kind of disappeared. The train left London about 20 minutes ago. Willem went to the cafe car. He took all his things with him, and she hasn't seen him since. And she is now convinced that he changed his mind and got off the train and left her by herself. Because why would he invited her in the first place? She doesn't understand. So she's freaking out about that, and then she thinks, no, oh my God, maybe it's even worse than that. Maybe this is some plot to kidnap me into like sex slavery, and he was just the bait. Through all this is where I'm going to start reading now. Willem returns, and in her utter relief, she just starts cracking up. He has a big stain down the front of his jeans because he spilled coffee on himself, and so she sees that, and she's just so completely relieved that he's there, and he hasn't left her there, that she just starts cracking up. And I'm going to start reading from that part. I'm sorry, I gasp. Not laughing at your pants. Pants! In her tutorial of British English versus American English, Miss Foley, our tour guide, had informed us that the English call underwear pants and pants trousers, and we should be mindful of announcing anything to do with pants to avoid any embarrassing misunderstandings. She went pink as she explained it. I am doubled over now. When I manage to sit upright, I see one of the French girls coming back down the aisle. As she edges behind Willem, she rests a hand on his arm. It lingers there for a second. Then she says something in French before slipping into her seat. Willem doesn't even look at her. Instead, he turns back to me. His dark eyes gave her question marks. I thought you got off the train. The admission just slips out on the champagne bubbles of my relief. Oh my God. Did I actually say that? The giggles shock right out of me. I'm afraid to look at him, because if he didn't want to leave me on the train before, I'd remedy that now. I feel the give of the seat as Willem sits down, and when I gather up the courage to peer over at him, I'm surprised to find that he doesn't look shocked or disgusted. He just has that amused, private smile on his face. He begins to unpack the junk food and pulls out a baguette from his backpack. After he's laid everything on the trays, he looks at me. And why would I get off the train, he asks, his voice light and teasing. I could make up a lie, because he forgot something, or because he realized he needed to get back to Holland after all and there wasn't time to tell me. Something ridiculous, but less incriminating. But I don't. Because you changed your mind. I await his disgust, his shock, his pity. But he still looks amused, maybe a little intrigued now too. And I feel this unexpected rush, like I just took a hit of some drug, my own personal truth serum. So I tell him the rest. But then for a brief minute, I thought maybe this was all some sort of scam. You were going to sell me to sex slavery or something. I look at him, wondering if I pushed too far. But he's smiling as he strokes his chin. How would I do that? He asks. I don't know. You'd have to make me pass out or something. What's that stuff they use? Chloroform? They put it on a handkerchief and put it up against your nose and you fall asleep? I think that's just in the movies. Probably easier for me to drug your drink, like your friend suspected. But you got me 3 drinks, one of them unopened. I hold up the can of Coke. I don't drink Coke, by the way. Ah, my plan is foiled then. He exaggerates a sigh. Too bad. I could get good money for you on the black market. How much do you think I'm worth? I ask, amazed at how quickly my fear has become folly. He looks me up and looks me down, appraising me. Well, it would depend on various factors. Like what? Age. How old are you? 18. He nods. Measurements? 5'4", 115 pounds. I don't know metric. Any unusual body parts or scars or false limbs? Does that matter? Fetishists, they pay extra. No prosthetic limbs or anything. But then I remember my birthmark, which is ugly, almost like a scar, so I usually keep it hidden under my watch. But there's something oddly tempting about exposing me. So I slide my watch down. But you have this. He takes it in, nodding his head, and casually asks, and are you a virgin? Would that make me more or less valuable? It all depends on the market. You seem to know a lot about this. I grew up in Amsterdam, he says, like this explains it. I have the strangest sensation then, like I'm holding the belt to a bathrobe and I can tie it tighter or let it drop. No, I'm not a virgin. He nods, stares at me in a way that unsettles. I'm sure Boris will be disappointed I add. Who's Boris? The thuggish Ukrainian who's going to do all the dirty work? You are just the bait. Now he laughs, tilting his long neck back. When he comes up for air, he says, I usually work with Bulgarians. You tease all you want, but there was a thing on TV about it, and it's not like I know you. He pauses, looks straight at me and says, 20, 1.9 meters, 75 kilos last time I checked. This, he points to a zigzag scar on his foot. Then he looks me dead in the eye. I know. It takes me a minute to realize that he's answering the same 4 questions he asked me. And when I do, I feel a flush start to creep up my neck. Also, we had breakfast together. Usually the people I have breakfast with, I know pretty well. Now the flush tidal waves into a full-on blush. I try to think of something quickly to say back, but it's hard to be witty when someone's looking at me like that. Did you really believe I would leave you on the train, he asks. The question is oddly jarring after all that hilarity about black market sex and everything. I think about it. Did I really think he'd do that? I don't know, I answer. Maybe I was just having a minor panic because doing something impulsive like this, it's not me. Are you sure about that? He asks. So you're here after all. I'm here, I repeat. And I am here. On my way to Paris with him. I look at him. He's got that half smile as if there's something about me that's endlessly amusing. And maybe it's that, or the rocking of the train, or the fact that I'll never see him again after the one day. Or maybe once you open the trapdoor of honesty, there's no going back. Or maybe it's just because I want to. But I let the robe drop to the floor. I thought you got off the train because I was having a hard time believing you'd be on the train in the first place. With me, without some ulterior motive. And this is the truth. Because I may be only 18, but it already seems pretty obvious that the world is divided into 2 groups. The doers and the watchers. People things happen to, and the rest of us who just sort of plod along with things. The Lulus and the Alisons. It never occurred to me that by pretending to be Lulu, I might slip into that other column, even for just a day. I turn to Willem to see what he'll say to this, but before he responds, the train plunges into darkness as we enter the Channel Tunnel. According to the factoids I read, in less than 20 minutes we'll be in Calais, and then an hour after that, Paris. And right now I have a feeling that this train is not just delivering me to Paris, but to someplace entirely new.